I haven't heard good music like that coming out right now. It's very rare that I hear a new band that I've never heard before and go, "Oh man, that's really good." I usually go, "It sounds just like everything else."
Mm-hmm.
Everybody sounds the same. It's
And
kind of depressing.
there's reason for that too. I mean, you've got auto tune, you've got drum sampling, you've got pitch correction on your
Yeah, it's all
instruments.
done with computers.
I mean,
It's just like digital art, digital
mhm.
music. It,
You can
you know
hear it. Just like you can see it, you can hear it. You can tell
exactly.
when a machine does something. If you go back and you listen to Zeppelin and you listen
Oh,
to
that's what I was just gonna
I
say. That
mean,
is that.
if you listen to Zeppelin and listen to John Bonham's drums,
Yeah, when the levee breaks, right? He played it in a
yes.
stairwell. They
Yeah, in a
recorded it with him
mansion.
playing in a stairwell in a mansion. Yeah, and I mean you can't recreate that with
No.
digital. Like even if you make it, even if you do, I'm pretty sure people would still tell the difference.
Yeah.
It's just organic, man. It's organic. People can tell the difference between organic and machine made or digital or whatever you want to call it. Um, it's there's just something about it that's different, that human element.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about. I mean, and another story I think about, and for the life of me, I can't remember the exact name of the song, but it was a Judas Priest song. And Ron Halford, he had been in the studio for 6 or 7 hours, and he had to nail this little speech in the beginning of the song. And then right after that, he gets to let off this just amazing scream. And the whole time, the producer's like, no, you got to get this part down because it's on 3.5 inch tape. You got to get this part down. We can't just patch it together. He's like, come on, just let me scream. He said, no, you've got to get this part down. And they finally get that magic take, and he does that scream, and it's one of the most guttural, just brutal things you've ever heard in your life.
Right.
And you will never, ever match a tone like that today because you can't do
Right.
it. You're not doing it on 3.5 inch tape anymore, which has the natural compression. You're not doing it 6 and 7 hours at a time for a single insignificant part of the song. You're not going through all the motions. You're going, all right, that was a decent enough take. I can patch it in post production. Let's move on.
Right.
There's there's no emotion in it. I mean, it's 90% garbage.
Nowadays, nowadays, like 90% of the song is done with a computer.
Yeah, and
It
it's
was funny, like whenever everybody got upset about Beyonce not winning, the Grammy or whatever the hell it was for best album, and Beck won.
yeah,
And you looked at like the people involved in making Beck's album, like the majority of it was done by him.
yeah,
And then you turn around and you look at like Beyonce's album, and you had like fucking a dozen different producers and who knows how many writers and such. And I'm going, it took all those people. All she really did was sing and put her face on the front.
yeah.
All these other people made the music and wrote the songs and did all that. But you're telling me she should win the Grammy for the best album whenever like she provided a voice and a face, but the musical talent was basically just this huge conglomeration of all these different writers and producers. And then you look at this guy, he pretty much did it all by himself. All he needed was somebody to push play, or hit record. So, you know,
There's
that's like
another good
there's a
example
huge
of that.
divide there between, you got the new generation and the old generation, whereas the old schoolers still play instruments, still,
Yeah,
new schoolers are like, oh, it can be done on a computer by this guy, you know, or these 12 guys back here can put something together on a computer that sounds really cool. And then I'll have another 12 guys write a song, and then I'll just sing over the top of it, and we'll slap my face on the front of the album, and we got an album, we got a #1 hit, and it's like, man, come
Another
on.
another prime example, uh, and it's one that I've always got a big kick out of. You look at something like Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody. That song's what, 9.5 minutes long, and it could have easily just been done a cappella. It didn't even need musical accompaniment. There was one writer for that song, one lyrical writer for that song.
Yeah,
And it is a masterpiece. It's one of the few ballads that have no repeated choruses. I mean, it's an amazing masterpiece of a song. And then you get Baby 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 by Justin Bieber, and it quite literally has 16 writers for 8 words.
I know. That's like
It,
modern music in a nutshell, right there.
somebody out there is calling bullshit right now on me. And I want you right now, the power of Google is strong with you. Type it in, look at the writers for Baby Baby by Justin Bieber.
That's the best part, is that I don't even have
Look
to
at it.
Google it, because I know
16 writers.
that's the way
There's
modern
more
music
than
is.
there's more than 8 words. I'll be fair. But there is quite literally only around 15 at most. So
Yeah, and
everybody
it
contributed 1 word.
used to be there was one or two guys got together, wrote a song, wrote the lyrics, got the music down. The other band members came in, they showed them, here's what we got going, here's what we're thinking, add your own little spice to it. And they wrote a song together. And it sounded good.
Yeah.
Now it's like it's overkill. Let's
Yeah.
let's put let's put 20 guys writing this song. These 20 guys together combined will write the best song. And it's like, that's not always the case, because there's too many different personalities going into this to where it all just sounds fake.
And it's too safe. I mean,
Yeah.
the lyrics are either complete and utter vulgar trash, or they're so PC that they could be played on Walmart's radio.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no in between there.
They're lame. They suck. Yeah.
I mean, that's it. I mean,
Have you seen that
dead.
meme where they compared like some of Robert Plant's lyrics from Led Zeppelin and like Nicki Minaj?
I don't
And
want to.
her I forget what song it was, but her lyrics were just the same thing over and over. And then he had this like epic
Yeah.
poem basically that went with music.
Yeah,
It's
stuff
just
like Black Dog and
such a
Immigrant
different
Song.
generation, man. And which I grew up listening to music that was like 1 or 2 generations earlier than I am. I grew up listening to like music from the 70s and the 60s even. I didn't really care too much for the 80s music, but
I don't think anybody did.
I grew up listening to stuff that had been around for 20 years when I was born.
And then, of course, we had the good fortune to grow up during the 90s too, and the 90s were probably the last musical generation.
The 90s were fantastic for music. You just had such a diversity and so much good quality music coming out from every genre, every facet of music. And it's like, man, that shit just died.
It really
died
did.
in millennium. And it's like now.
Well, all the artists died.
Yeah, I guess that's got to be it.
I mean, really. I mean,
everything shifted, and now I cannot care about modern music to save my life. Like, I just can't do it.
No,